I'm Paula Ward, and this is Easy Knitting Design. This is part 3 of shoulder shaping. We've done all our numbers, and it's time to do the knitting on Nikki's sweater. We've worked our V-neck in front, leaving the last inch for shoulder shaping. Now we'll work 2 short rows on each shoulder. I'll place stitch markers. The first is 4 stitches from the armhole edge, and the next is 3 stitches in from that one. I'll repeat this on the other shoulder. I'll work 1 knit row on this shoulder in order to work in scrap yarn to mark the row. I slip the markers as I go. Drop the first yarn, pick up the second yarn, and start on the other shoulder, using scrap yarn to mark this row as well and slipping the stitch markers. At the last stitch marker, we'll work our first wrap and turn. Slip a stitch, bring the yarn forward, return the slipped stitch, and turn the work. Bring the yarn to the front and purl a stitch. I like to use the stitch marker to mark the wrap. See how the marker is on the wrap at the base of the stitch? Purl the rest of the row, slipping the remaining stitch marker. Turn and start another knit row. Knit to the nearest marker and work the second wrap and turn. Slip a stitch, bring the yarn forward, return the slipped stitch, and turn the work. Bring the yarn forward and purl a stitch. Use the stitch marker to mark the wrap, then finish purling the row. We've worked our 2 short rows, and on this next knit row we'll pick up the wraps. The marker helps us find the wrapped stitch. Pick up the wrap through the front and knit it together with the wrapped stitch. Knit to the next wrap. Remove the marker, pick up the wrap through the front, and knit it together with the wrapped stitch. Finish knitting the row. Purl a row to finish at the neck edge. Now we'll work the other shoulder. Pick up the other yarn. We're on a purl row, so purl across, slipping the first marker. At the second marker, work the wrap and turn. With the yarn in front, slip a stitch, bring the yarn to the back, return the slipped stitch, and turn the work. Knit a stitch, and mark the wrap with the stitch marker. Finish knitting the row, slipping the marker again. On the next row, purl to the first marker and work the second wrap and turn. With the yarn at the front, slip a stitch, move the yarn to the back, return the slip stitch, and turn the work. Knit a stitch and use the stitch marker to mark the wrap. Finish knitting the row. On this final purl row, we'll pick up the 2 wraps. At the first wrap, pick up the wrap through the back and place it on the left needle. Then purl it together with the wrapped stitch. Purl to the next wrap and repeat. Pick up the wrap through the back, place it on the left needle, and purl the 2 together. Finish purling the row. Now turn and knit the final row, ending at the neck edge. We started an inch before the top of the sweater. Nikki's slope was only a ½ inch, so I knit extra rows straight up to complete the inch. Let's check. We've added about an inch above the scrap yarn, and our armhole depth is 7½ inches, just what we wanted. See how the short rows disappear? Woohoo! The front of our sweater is done. Now let's finish the back.